glitch to your heart's content. You get that Mew. You get that level 7 Dragonite. And you duplicate those missing no items. Because if you're playing Pokemon Yellow still today, kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to LetsNot. And welcome back to another Pokemon Sword and Shield cheating video. Alrighty, guys. So, as you may have guessed, it's time for part 3 of the Fine, the Bad, and the Scummy series we've been doing that talks about each and every way that people hack and cheat in Pokemon. So, if you guys haven't seen the other 2 parts, I'll put some links up here if you guys want to click on those. But again, each of these parts can really be seen as standalone. So, if you just want to find out what ways of cheating do I think are fine, then just watch this video. But anyway, so the main thing that I want to point out before we start jumping into this video is that these are basically my opinion on what ways of cheating in Pokemon are fine. And not just my opinion, but really the larger Pokemon community as a whole. We're all pretty okay with most of these ways. So if you do disagree with 1 or 2 of them, let me know. But again, these are the ways that I consider to be fine. They don't really affect a whole lot. They don't involve scamming children. They don't involve cheating in tournaments or ranked battles. These are the ways that really have a much lesser impact on the way the game is played and really only kind of impact your individual gameplay experience. So yeah, let's jump into it. All right. The first thing I want to talk about in what I would call the fine category. None of these are good. Again, none of these are good. But the first thing that I would talk about in the fine category is a question that I get all the time, and it is, LetsNot, is it okay to breed with hacked Pokemon, right? And me and, like I said, most of the Pokemon community are okay with it. We all recognize the fact that hacked Dittos are absolutely everywhere, right? And if, we go into my bag here, we can look at this wonderful gent, right? I don't even remember when I got this. I've had this hacked Ditto for what feels like forever, right? But just in general, hacked Dittos are so incredibly common. Ditto is the #1 hacked Pokemon across the entire series, and it's not even by like a small margin, like by a huge margin. Ditto is hacked more often than any other Pokemon, just because it's so common to have people want to breed with a perfect Ditto. And I mean, that makes sense, right? Breeding with a perfect Ditto means you can pass 5 AVs so much easier, right? So this is a 6 IV shiny Ditto, super duper hacked. But here's the thing. When you breed with a hacked Ditto like this, the Pokemon that comes out of the breeding process, like the egg, right? It's not a hacked egg, right? It's a completely fine egg. It's a completely normal egg, right? So if I take this and I breed it with something like this Centiskorch here, right? The Pokemon that comes out of it will be a totally normal Pokemon. There's going to be nothing wrong with it. Totally fine. And again, this is very commonly done. And again, the general community thinks this is one of those things that, okay, right, it's fine. Just, again, there are so many hacked Dittos out there. And this doesn't only apply to Dittos. It really applies to any hacked Pokemon. When you hack a Pokemon and only use it for breeding, as long as don't hack it yourself. That puts you into a completely different category. But if you just happen upon a hacked Ditto, because again, there are so many of them being wonder traded out there. There are so many of them on the GTS. Sometimes, again, it can be even difficult if you guys aren't, super experienced in telling hacked Pokemon out that a Ditto has even been hacked. This one should probably be pretty easy to tell, but you guys get the idea. So again, first thing, yes, guys, if you do get a hacked Pokemon, it is okay to breed with it. Again, I don't recommend you take it online. I don't recommend you put it in Pokemon Home. But as a general rule, if you guys have a hacked Ditto or another hacked Pokemon and you want to use it exclusively for breeding, that's okay. The Pokemon you get out of the breeding process, the Pokemon that come out of the eggs, will not be hacked. All right. So again, get that out of the way real quick because that's super common. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is using hacked Pokemon exclusively offline, right? So let me find an example here. So if we go back over here and we take a look at, I don't know, this, where's a hacked Pokemon from one of my videos? Let's see. I have too many Pokemon. All right, here we go. So like if we go into I don't know, let's say a story mode, and we play through the entire story mode, or let's say offline raid den adventures, right? Like the raid lairs. Like, let's say I play through all of those. Well, actually, you can't bring Pokemon into All right, reset. Let's say we go through the entire Crown Tundra expansion, all offline. using this Suicune, right? That's fine. Like, again, this thing's super clearly hacked. We got it in the surprise trade video. It's a cool Pokemon. I mean, Suicune's a cool Pokemon, right? It's got, you know, pretty bad moves, and it's super, super fake. I mean, its name is literally PokemonGen.com with an OT of PokemonGen.com. But again, like, that's okay. I'm literally just using this thing offline, never taking it online, so I'm not really risking a ban in that regard. I'm not taking it to Pokemon Home. It's fine. Like, again, personally, when I get these, you know, on any games that I'm not using specifically to make videos, right? I'm gonna just take these. I'm gonna release these immediately because they're broken, they're hacked, and they suck, right? So again, all of these actually came from surprise trading as well. I made a video about surprise trading if you guys want to check that out, where we just tried to speed run to see how fast we get a full team of hacked shinies. It was pretty quick. It was pretty quick, man. But anyway, you guys get the idea, right? Any of these fake Pokemon, if I were to just use this completely offline, just for story mode, any of that stuff, that's fine, guys. That's fine. Like Battle Tower, stuff like that, that's fine, right? Most of the Pokemon community will be completely fine with that. You're not taking it to ranked battles. You're not taking it to competitions. Again, most of the things that you see that are going to fall into this fine category are really only going to affect you, and they're not going to affect the gameplay experience of other players, which is partially why they're okay, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're only cheating for yourself, you're only cheating yourself. See what I mean? See where I'm going with that? Like, kind of? No. Okay, that's moving on. All right, so again, using hacked Pokemon exclusively offline, totally fine. Totally fine. And most people in the Pokemon community, I think, will agree with that. Though, again, you're better off just releasing it. All right, so the third thing that I want to talk about is using in-game glitches, right? So really making use of anything that's kind of in the game by default that kind of wasn't meant to be there, right? So a lot of times this will show up as like an item duplication. Sometimes this will show up as a like a missing no occasionally. Or my favorite example, and I'll put up a little video on the screen here. Of course, catching Mew in Pokemon Yellow, right? And even the virtual console of Pokemon Yellow, like you could get Mew, you get Dragonite, you could basically get any Pokemon you wanted, right? So like, for example, in this example with Mew, right, you would follow a very specific set of steps, you'd kill a Slowpoke at a very specific time, and then you could catch a level 7 Mew, right? Again, this glitch was built into the game. It was such a well-known part of the game that Game Freak kind of just left it in there when they re-released the Pokemon Virtual Console. They made it so you couldn't transfer it to Pokemon Home, which, I mean, I get it. I understand. There were so many glitch Pokemon that came out of this event. Out of this glitch, sorry. But again, like, this is fine. Like, nobody at this time period really cares if you did the Mew glitch to get a Mew. Like, it's not something that I'd say anybody had a huge issue with. So if it's a glitch that's built into the game to get Pokemon, like in Pokemon Yellow, that's totally fine. You know what? Glitch to your heart's content. You get that Mew. You get that level 7 Dragonite. And you duplicate those missing no items. Because if you're playing Pokemon Yellow still today, kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. All right. Anyway, so again, in-game glitches that are built into the game, abusing them while they're there before they get patched usually is fine, as long as you're not going overboard or you're not using it for some malicious purpose, I guess, like to scam other people. Then yeah, most of the Pokemon community agrees that totally fine. All right. So the next thing that I get asked a lot is taking the Master Ball off of a hacked Pokemon, or taking the Master Ball off of, or any item off of a hacked Pokemon. So 9 times out of 10, when you get a hacked Pokemon in surprise trade, or you get a hacked Pokemon in whatever, it'll be holding a Master Ball. So sometimes people ask me like, "Hey, is this Master Ball hacked? Can I get banned for taking this Master Ball?" No, it's totally fine. Just take the Master Ball, put it in the bag, release the Pokemon, and move on with your day, right? Items don't have the same coding that Pokemon do, right? And this is something that I guess a lot of people who haven't seen the back end of the hacking and the back end of kind of what makes a Pokemon unique in a Pokemon, that's something they don't really understand, is that Pokemon have a lot of things that make them unique. They have trainer IDs, they have names, they have ID numbers. They have moves that they're allowed to have. They have moves they're not allowed to have. Natures. They have something called a secret ID that only corresponds to your trainer code that you can't even see. They have another Pokemon identifier behind the scenes that you can't see. So they got a bunch of information that makes a Pokemon, right? So there's a bunch of things that you can't even see that determines what a Pokemon is, and again, how real that Pokemon is. Items, they don't have that, right? So a hacked Master Ball is the same as a normal Master Ball at the end of the day. It's just, obviously, you know, if you're buying or selling Master Balls, we talked about that in the bad video. Just don't do it. Just don't. But if you happen to get a shiny Lapras or a shiny Dragonite from a surprise trade, it's holding a Master Ball. You're fine. Take that Master Ball. You're not going to get banned for taking that Master Ball. Okay? So again, it's fine. All right, next thing that I want to talk about is something that it's probably going to confuse a lot of people. And just because they probably don't even think about this as cheating. I know most people don't. It's something that's so ingrained in the game that most people wouldn't even consider it to be cheating. And that is save resetting. It's simple as that. So if I go into a Pokemon encounter and it's a static encounter, so like maybe if it's like I don't know, a Regigigas or something, or any other Pokemon, right? If I go in here and I fight this and it comes up and it's not shiny, and I would just reset my save and fight it again over and over and over again, right? It's basic shiny hunting, right? That is still cheating, right? Shiny resetting for a starter. It's barely cheating, right? Resetting your game over and over again. It's just, honestly, oh, this thing's gonna come get me, isn't it? It's become such a normal part of the game that I really don't even think at this point anybody would really consider it cheating. So again, Nintendo didn't really account for you to be doing that. They didn't really account for you to be save resetting to find a shiny. But again, everybody's fine with it. Nobody really cares if you reset your game to find a shiny. Totally fine. You go out there, you catch your shiny however you want to do it. So if you're save resetting for a shiny, you go right ahead. Okay, so with that out of the way, again, I know that one might have surprised some people. The next thing that I want to talk about is resetting your clock on your Switch. So in case you guys are curious, a lot of players will go in and reset the clock on their Switch. Now, there's a number of reasons you want to do this. The most common one, and we'll go over to the wild area here, is to relaunch a raid den, right? So that'll be by far the most common. So if I go over here into the wild area, and I'll go ahead and find a raid den, right? So the idea behind this is that I want to basically find a shiny raid den, or I want to spawn a different raid den, or basically I want to reset all the spawns of my raid dens, right? So if I jump over here and we'll go check out this raid den and we'll save and we'll show you guys what I mean. Basically what the whole point of this is I want to just be able to keep resetting until I find a shiny raid. So I'll go ahead and save here. And then what we'll do is we'll check this raid den, we'll jump in, and we'll see if the Pokemon inside of it is shiny, right? Which, unless I've got some insane YouTuber luck, it won't be. All right, so we got a Cloyster. So I'm going to say don't invite others. And I'm going to jump in, and I'm going to see if this Cloyster is shiny, right? And when it's ultimately not shiny, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in. I'm going to change my Switch clock. And I'm going to kind of reset my day, right? So not a shiny Cloyster. I'll go out of here. I'll close out of the game. Then I'll just jump in here and I'll go into the settings here, and then I'll scroll all the way down to the bottom here to system. And then I'll say, well, now I'm going to go in here and I'll go in and I'll change my date and time. That way I'll stop syncing my clock with the internet. I'll jump in here and I'll change my date and time to the second. Right. So that way now I can reset my encounter, with this Cloyster, and now let's check again if it's shiny, right? Jump right back in, see if the Cloyster's shiny. Cloyster's not shiny, come back in here, reset the date, and just continue to repeat this wonderfully annoying process, right? But again, this is definitely cheating. You know, Pokemon Company, they came out and they said, yo guys, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be resetting to find shiny raid dens like this. Like, it's not something they planned for. It's not something you wanted people to be doing. It's not something that they ever implemented a fix for, right? But yeah, so now we see we have got completely different weather. We can jump in here. We can take a look at this Cloyster. We can click invite others and, you know, not do that, but Anyway, regardless, we jump back in, we fight this cloister again. We say don't invite others. Again, there's a whole bunch of steps, and we'll talk about shiny raid dens in another video, and specifically the worst way of cheating, which is finding out exactly when the cloister will be shiny. But again, if you're doing it this way, if you're just resetting your Switch, changing the date and time, this is something that, again, generally people, okay, so it wasn't shiny. Generally people will consider to be fine, right? So I'm going to go ahead and fix my date time real quick. But again, if that's what you're doing, that's okay. Now that exact same method can be done to affect a number of things, right? So not only can it obviously do that, all right, where was it here? System, date and time, right? So again, not only can it be done to change the date and time there, but you could also use that to make use of a couple other things. And one of the other things that people do is they will make use of that to reset all the spawns. So if they're like trying to look for nature mints on the Isle of Armor, for example, they'll reset all of the spawns and location to try and find nature mints. Again, that's fine. It really is only affecting your individual gameplay experience. And then one other thing that people use kind of that exact same method for is cheating the lotto ID number system, right? So if you guys aren't aware, honestly, I wouldn't be super surprised if you guys aren't aware of this. We'll go over and show you, but there's basically a system in this game where once per day, you can run a lotto ID check. And what this will do is it'll go through all of your Pokemon across all of your boxes. It'll see if any of their ID numbers match a certain ID. And if they do, it will give you an item or reward. So we'll go to a Pokemon Center here just to show you guys what I mean. But basically, you get to do this lotto ID once per day. So by jumping back into the save, changing the save timer, changing the days, you can basically do this now however long you want to sit here and farm that out. Again, the reason that people would do this is because the top prize for Lotto ID is a Master Ball. So basically by doing this over and over again and having a lot of different Pokemon, you can try and test your luck and just keep going until you finally do get a Master Ball, right? So again, everybody's pretty okay with this. Most of the things that you can do by resetting your day, pretty much everybody's okay with. So here's my Lotto number. See if it matches a Pokemon's ID number. Great. The amazing matches up with the ID number of Scrafty. Oh my goodness, it's a 5-digit match. Did we really just win the Master Ball on our very first try? That's all right. Well, there you have it. So if you do this reset method long enough, or if you're just stupid lucky like I am, you can just get a Master Ball. We didn't even have to reset. So yeah, it's a thing, guys. It's a thing. So again, if assuming you don't get a Master Ball in your first try, or I guess even if you do get a Master Ball in your first try, you just save it, change the date, and try again. But that's actually pretty funny. The funny thing is I've never actually won a Master Ball from Lotto ID. And of course, you know, the YouTuber luck's a real thing. First try, win a Master Ball. Your mileage may vary. All right, yeah. So again, if you're cheating for the purpose of Lotto IDs, that's fine. Nobody really cares. Like, it's one of those things where the general I'm not gonna say nobody cares. The general Pokemon community is okay with it, and most of the other things you can do via changing Switch time. I still can't believe I got a Master Ball there. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, guys, there's one more thing I want to talk about in the fine category, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up. So stay with me here while I go ahead and switch over to the other screen. So one sec, guys. Alrighty, guys, the last thing that I want to talk about here is this little sucker here. So this is called the Switch Up Game Enhancer for Nintendo Switch, and there are a few of these different types of things. But basically what this does is it allows you to run macros on your Switch. For those of you guys who don't know what a macro is, it's basically just like a little line of code that makes your character do the same thing over and over and over again. This one in particular, what it's basically going to do is it's going to automatically hatch eggs for you, right? So if you guys have no idea what this thing is, Austin John Plays made actually a pretty good video about this where he shows off this device and what it does. But basically, to give you guys a quick thing, is a quick highlight. You plug it into your Switch. It'll have your user run around in circles, hatching eggs. It'll have them go back up, grab eggs, empty boxes, release Pokemon, and eventually, you know, get you a shiny. It's a completely AFK method to hatching a shiny, in that it will just go over time. over and over and over again until it hatches a shiny, right? So again, this little sucker, it's fine, right? It's not great, right? Like, I wouldn't recommend people to do it, but it's fine. Like, it's not one of those things that I'd say is such a huge issue for the game. It still takes however long it would have taken, however many eggs it would have taken to get that shiny Pokemon, right? So if your shiny Zigzagoon is destined to hatch in 6,000 eggs, it's still going to take this thing 6,000 eggs to hatch it, right? It's not circumventing the game code. It's not hacking the game code. It's just making your character spin around in circles and talk to a person every so often. So not great. I still prefer, you know, for a shiny to be achieved the correct way. But again, the shiny coming out of the method here is the same. It's just this thing automates the process a little bit. So if you want to do that overnight shiny farming, if you're really trying to complete a shiny dex and you just don't have all the time in the world, something like this is an option, right? And again, it's definitely cheating. Don't get me wrong. It's 100% cheating, but it's fine. Which is kind of how I would sum up this entire video. 100% cheating, but it's fine. And you still got to remember, guys. You still got to remember from the very first video. Cheating is wrong. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, I guess one thing that I didn't mention too is hacking like super rare items like star sweets and stuff like that. Non-key items, not things that are going to break the game. That's mostly fine. It's meh, right? It's mostly fine. So like if you're really trying to get a star sweet or one of these other items for like to involve an Alcremie just for your own gameplay experience, again, I'd also throw that in the fine category. But that'll be it, guys, for this video. So let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think? Did I miss anything that you would also throw in the fine category for cheating? Was there something in the bad or scummy category that you guys consider to be fine? Like, I always like to read these comments and see where people's opinions are on cheating. And you know, it's always funny too to see the dislikes and see all the people who are very, very pro cheating and very against me making these videos in the first place. So thank you guys. Thank you especially to you guys, because you guys are the reason for me. So I appreciate you. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. I'll be making another cheating Pokemon video pretty soon. It'll be a pretty funny one, but don't you guys worry. You'll get to see that one. I was actually inspired by one of your comments. So that video will be coming out pretty soon. And as always, guys, if you guys want to see all of my Pokemon videos, definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel, and also, you know, check out my live streams. I live stream on YouTube Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So, all right, guys, I will see you there, and have a good rest of your day. Thanks, everybody.